Boys and girls, ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of Clutch Conversations. It's your boy Mike. We are back at you live one more again on the Thursday night, man. I hope everybody's feeling good, man. I know I'm ready for tonight's episode. We got the homie Marvin from Elegant Anomaly Reptiles in the building tonight. This is his very first podcast, so I appreciate everybody who came out tonight, who's came out tonight to show some love, man. Can't hardly talk, but there we go. We're gonna get it right. First and foremost, man, shout out to my lovely wife, Takara, the world famous TJ the DJ. She is holding us down again this week on the ones and twos. Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Last week I was struggling. Last week with the comments. So definitely glad to have you back tonight, helping us out, man, holding us down behind the scenes. Y'all make sure y'all show us some love in the comments, and also make sure you show the channel some love as well. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you smash that notification bell so you can get notifications each and every time we drop a video. We definitely appreciate y'all showing us the support coming through. Make sure y'all go check us out too on your favorite audio podcast platforms. Clutch Conversations is available on all major podcast platforms. That's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. So make sure you go out there and check us out. And when you go out there and check us out, please be sure to follow, rate, and review. It really helps us out. We really appreciate the support. Really appreciate all the feedback. Definitely appreciate everything y'all been doing for us, man. 100%. Speaking of support, if you're involved in this reptile hobby in any shape, form, or fashion, make sure you're out there supporting US Art and US Art Florida. The link for both organizations are in the description of this video. So if you're not a member, definitely go grab your membership. Definitely give a donation if you can. Do what you can. Definitely spread the word. Tell a friend. Make sure everybody in your circle knows about US Art. Make sure everybody in your circle knows about US Art and is supporting US Art in some sort of way. If you ain't got the money, just definitely make sure you tell somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like anything you can do, anything helps. Definitely spread the word. We need as much support as possible. Shout out to the sponsors, man. We're gonna kick the sponsor video. We got a new sponsor tonight, but we're gonna kick this first to tonight, and we're gonna come back at you with one later on in the show. But shout out to the sponsors, man. Appreciate you, Shane. Appreciate you, Justin, for showing love, man. We're gonna get right into the sponsor video.
Big dreams start in small towns. Small Town Xotics is a family-ran business that specializes in high-quality ball python morphs, western hognoses, and select leopard geckos. They are proud members of US Art Florida, and the Orient Society. Stay connected with Small Town Xotics on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Witness their journey as they grow their business and showcase their animals to the world. Thank you, Small Town Xotics, for sponsoring the show.
Art comes in many forms. At Armless Angels, it comes to life.
Yes, sir, man. Much love to the sponsors. Really appreciate y'all support, man. Really appreciate y'all believing in us. It means a lot, man. We got a lot of folks in the chat too tonight. What's good? Let's see who we got in the chat right now. Johnny, what's good? First, let's go. Appreciate you coming out, bro. Thanks for the support. We got Blaker's Pythons in the building. Appreciate you coming out. Thanks for the support. We got Balls of Paradise. Appreciate you coming out. Glad you got a chance to check out the live. Genetics Nerd, what's good? Christina, thanks for coming out. We got the homie Rock. What's good, bro? Thanks for coming out. Scales, fins, and feathers. Thank you for coming out. Let's make sure I'm saying this right. Is Micaiah or is it Micah? I'm not 100% sure, but Micaiah or Micah, appreciate you coming out. Appreciate the support. Drop it in the chat, the pronunciation. Morphic Exotics, what's good? Thanks for coming out, fam. Nixon Reptiles, what's good, brother? Thanks for coming out. Joey, what's good, bro? Thanks for coming out. T Keys in the building, what's good, bro? Y'all make sure y'all check out Hair Down Fridays tomorrow night. And also check out the big homie Ray on My Favorite Reptile podcast. He got Canadian Reptile Adventures tomorrow, 5 p.m. So catch My Favorite Reptile podcast at 5 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, and catch Hair Down Fridays immediately following at 8:15 p.m. So y'all make sure y'all go show some love, show some support. See who else we got. Blackjack Reptiles, what's good? Arizona Deep in the building, what's good? We got the guests in the chat. Yep, Arizona in the building early, man. I appreciate all the support. Man, Arizona folks hold it down, man. I promise you. I promise you. Hey, Zeus, what's good, bro? Thanks for coming out, fam. Shane, what's good, bro? The sponsor in the chat. Thanks for coming out. What's good, Casey? Thanks for coming out, brother. The homie Big Wiz in the building again. Man, if you're not a part of the Wiz Tang Clan, man, what you waiting on? Go join. Wiz Tang Clan. Follow the homie. IG, Patreon, all that. Go check it out. Lou Balls, what's good? What's good? Thanks for coming out. Let's see what else we got. We got the homie Big Ray. Speak of the homie, and he shall appear. We're going to stop it right there. We're going to go out hard. Kick this intro, and we'll be right back.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up. This cool. Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this?
Episode 72, Elegant Anomaly Reptiles. What's good? What's good, bro? How you feeling?
Bro, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How's your day been so far?
It's good, man. Good. Can't complain, bro. Love the intro, man. You got a lot of heavy hitters on the pod, man. I love it.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I put it together like probably about three months ago or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing it. It was hard to just figure out like which clips and how to make it go. But like I came across that song, I was like, I definitely got to have that song. So man, definitely enjoyed doing that.
Nice. That's what's up, man.
It's good to have you on the show, man.
I don't know what's that?
I say it's good to have you on the show, man. Your first pod.
Yeah, it is, man. I appreciate you having me, man. It's great, man. All love, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was gonna say, I saw you in the intro. Asked about the guy's name from Arizona. It's Micaiah. You had it right.
Micaiah. I had it right the first time. Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
He runs our local kind of Arizona ball python breeders page on Facebook. So I met him early in the hobby, man, and his little brother pied his life. Price that and run around Zach. Great people, man. Can't complain. Great. They show me a lot of love. So gotta show them a little love back.
Man, Arizona, man, y'all be holding it down.
We try to. We try to. You know, for the most part, I know a lot of people have an issue with Facebook and how it gets online, man. But that group for the most part has been great, man. We in there, we kind of joke, we laugh, we give each other a hard time, we help each other out. And it's not a whole lot of like that Facebook toxic stuff in that group. It's just a bunch of people having a great time.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So you from Nebraska, right? How long you been in Arizona?
Yes, sir, man. I grew up in Nebraska, man. I moved out to Arizona in 2003 after I graduated from college. So been out here since October of 2003.
Okay. Oh, so you've been out there a minute.
Bro.
You're local at this point.
yeah, pretty much. It's wild, man. I've literally lived in Arizona longer than I lived in Nebraska growing up. So I still say Nebraska is like home, you know what I'm saying? But I've been out here so long, it's like Arizona is really home, you know what I'm saying? So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what school did you say you went to?
So yeah, I graduated from Nebraska Wesleyan, small little like private school. I hooped there for a little bit, and then ended up out here.
Nice. All right, bro. So let's get into the reptiles a little bit. So let's talk about your background and how you got into the reptiles.
Okay, cool, man. So, man, not the conventional way most people kind of get into it, man. I had kind of like the typical black mom in the sense that she was not feeling the snakes, bro. I remember me and my brothers, we would go to this pet store. It was like, so I grew up like kind of just off the Air Force Base. It's still base housing. But there's this pet store over there, man. And I swear, like, that guy he couldn't have stuff that was legal at the time in there. Like, I don't know what he's doing. Like, but we'd go in there and we watch him feed the caiman and all that stuff and feed snakes. And we were in there all the time, man. And I remember just trying to get convince my mom to let me get a snake. I always thought they were cool, man, but terrified of them at the same time. So
what kind did you want?
Man, at first, like, it's funny. I was thinking about this. He had a berm in there. I remember one point in time, like, he had what he had labeled as like a I don't know if it was a miniature like berm or something like that, but like a dwarf berm or something like that. And I'm like, I've never seen a berm that like wasn't big. So I was like, whatever. But that was kind of like the first interest, a second pet store after that one closed, man. Went to the second pet store. My mom eventually let me get iguana. So I had an iguana growing up for a little bit.
Oh, nice.
Back then those jokers, they were wild caught, and no one really liked to walk me through like what they needed and that type of thing, man. So I went through a few of them. As my brother would say, they like to eliminate themselves back then. So just trial and error, figuring it out, man. But in that pet store that I went to, like the second one, that guy had this huge berm that he got from like Jake the Snake. He had this picture of Jake the Snake. I don't know if you watched like wrestling back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he had that, man, and every once in a while he would let it out, and it was like this massive snake, and it'd be curled up underneath like the little dollies, like that people have now in their rooms. But the interest was always there, man, but was always terrified of them. And then in college, man, I was like, right before I graduated, I guess like a senior or whatever, but I was like, man, I'm finally gonna suck it up and buy a snake. My mom was like, when I was a kid, she's like, man, no snakes, but when you get older, you can have as many snakes as you want, have your own place. So I got my first snake in college. I got a boa, actually, a red tail. And that was my first snake. And then before I moved out to Arizona, I gave it away to one of my brother's friends. And which I think several years went by. I want to say it was like 2008-ish. I was walking to a pet store and just grabbed some dog food, and this guy had a snake. I knew it was a ball python, but I had never seen anything like it before. And so I started talking to him a little bit, and turns out it was like a sterling ball python. And back then there was like, guys, there was only like maybe 10 or so in the world. Not that many back then. And it just like, I remember talking to him, and he's saying, he just kind of worked at, I think it was like a PetSmart or Petco or something like that. He's like, I just work here part-time, just something to do. He's like, I breed snakes full-time. And so instantly I went home, like, I'm a researcher, man. So I went home and was like start looking stuff up, and it was just amazing how much more stuff was on the internet available at that point in time versus like when I was in college, just 6 years earlier, before, when it was just like normals, so it was like this whole world of stuff. So right then and there, I was like, man, at some point I'm gonna get into this.
So what year was this again?
That was like 2008, 2009.
2008, 2009. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's when you first kind of said, hey, I want to do this breeding thing. And so who was you tapping in with at the time to kind of learn about it?
Man, at the time, it was, online, just watching videos, and me and my daughter, we watched snake bites quite a bit. So definitely did that. And then it was really like, I paid a lot of attention to like Ralph Davis back in the day, and JKR, like their stuff. I was on their pages religiously. Also, the Snake Keeper, like those are probably like the big three. I was on their pages all the time, checking stuff out. But watching a lot of like YouTube stuff with Ralph Davis in particular, and Nerd too, when they were posting stuff. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
I want to rewind a little bit. So you mentioned like the first reptile you got was an iguana. So you was already like, that would have never happened in my house, like not at all. So how did y'all land on the iguana?
Man, you know what? My mom was like, you can get a lizard. And so, I think they probably had, leopard geckos and beardies, but just growing up seeing iguanas, like I was like, man, these things, they get big, like they're kind of cool. Like looking back on it, I go like, that's the worst, the worst lizard to get out the jump, like no experience, no nothing. And like I said, they were mean back in the day. They were all like wild caught. So, but yeah, settled on that, man, and eventually was able to get one of those. But that's where it started. So
did you get the iguana?
To do that, but she was like, no snakes, like nothing, no rats, no mice, whatever to feed them, none of that stuff. She was not feeling that at all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's a slight lag. I don't know if you can tell on I don't know if it's on my end or if it's on your end, but it's a slight lag. So if I overtalk you, I'm not intentionally trying to do it. It's just like a slight lag. So my bad.
Nah, you're good.
So did you get the iguana tamed down any?
So man, like the first one was cool. Like that one was like tamed down all right. Like that was fine. I could take it out and handle it. I'm trying to remember what happened. Like, I don't know if just like back in the day, man, like they didn't tell you like proper like ways to like clean and stuff like that. So I think what happened was like I was cleaning it with something I shouldn't have been cleaning it with, the cage, whatever, and probably just the fumes, whatever, end up killing it. And so like the second one though, that joker was mean. And that there was no taming that one down, man. I get tail slaps all the time. It's funny, like I was thinking back on it, I had my dad had these leather gloves, like growing up in Nebraska, like leather gloves they take out like to go like shovel snow, and they had wool, whatever, so they were pretty padded. It's like I'd go do my thing in there, I just break the gloves out and do what I had to do. But yeah, that one, there was no taming that one down. That joker was just mean. And then like I don't even remember how that one passed away either, but that one eventually ended up passing away. I was like, man, skip this. I was like, I'm getting a baby. So I got a baby, and I had that one for a couple of years. All the way through college. I took it to the dorms with me and everything.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, so fast forward back to where we were. So you're in the ball python world now. So how long did it take you to pick up your first ball python, and what was it?
So from that first point in time where I saw that guy in the pet shop, I didn't get my first snake until 2012. I remember getting back home from the gym, and my son's mom had some friends that she worked with at the time, and they were going to reptile show. Turns out it was the Mesa reptile show, and they're like, "Do you want to go?" I was like, "Yeah, let's go." And I have to remember at this point in time, I already had like a list of snakes because I had like this kind of like sample kind of like business plan already put together.
Oh, nice.
So like of just not really like a business plan, but like just the types of morphs that like were out there that I was interested in, that caught my eye. And so at that first show, I bought 3 snakes, and so I did that, and just typical, noob, wasn't prepared at all, so I bought a 1.1 of pastels, and I bought a cinnamon. So those are my first purchases.
What was that cinnamon? Was it male or female?
Female.
Okay, so yeah, 2 females and a male.
Yep.
Okay. So what other morphs were on your radar at the time? Because you said you had a list. So what all morphs
So
were
at the time, man, I'm trying to think. I go through my purchases. Like a few months later, there was like a Repticon or something like that, and I ended up going, and I picked up a fire, and I picked up a spider het hypo. Those were like my first like 5 snakes.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. And so what were you keeping them in at that time?
So man, at the time, like that first, like the first ones I just had like a little terrarium, whatever, that I kept them in until my rack came in. So like I kind of already researched racks and stuff like that before, and so basically I got back and I was like, all right, bought a rack, but had to wait for it to come in. So literally I had a buddy keep the snakes for a little bit. Jeremy Kloss, I'm not sure if he's in the building or not, but he kept them for me for a little bit, and then I got them back maybe like a week or two before my rack came in. So I kept them in there for like a week or two, and then the rack came in, and it was off to the races after that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so how long did it take before you got your first clutch?
So man, the first clutch, that was a lesson in buying snakes. I bought a breeder female, just a big normal, just because I had a couple males. Because what newbie doesn't go out and buy males before his females are ready, So I did that, man. But so I was like, man, let me buy a breeder female, and I paired her like maybe one time, and just open up the tub one day, and like there were eggs, and they weren't the best looking eggs. They were beat up, man. And so gave them back to my same buddy Jeremy, and he incubated them for me, because I know incubator, and unfortunately, like I don't know if just was up that female, man. No backstory on her, whatnot, but she ended up passing away like maybe 5 or 6 days after laying.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the clutch, nothing survived. Just all the eggs were bad, went bad in the incubator. So, yeah, no telling what happened with that. So, I didn't really get my official first clutch until a year later, when those females that I grew up were ready. So, I did that. So that would have been like 2014.
Okay, and so you got a baby from that cinnamon female and the pastel female.
So yeah, so I'm trying to think. My very first clutch was actually from the very first pairing I did was pastel to fire, because the fire girl I got her. She was bigger than the rest. She was like maybe 400, 500 grams when I bought her. So she was ahead of the other ones. But yeah, that was my very first clutch.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so, did you hit good odds on that clutch?
Yeah, that clutch was interesting. There was a couple fireflies in there, if I remember correctly. If I remember correctly, I didn't hit very good sex ratio odds. But it was a couple fireflies, couple pastels, pastel female, and a normal, something like that. So it was a decent sized clutch, but odds wise, maybe not the greatest from a sex ratio standpoint. I didn't really hold anything back except for I think I held back like a firefly male.
Okay, that's what's up. And so, how did your taste for projects start changing over time, and what led to that? Was it just kind of like seeing cool stuff and you was like, I want to work that? Was it someone kind of like helping you out? How did that go?
Yeah, man. So I would say like I was religiously on Ralph Davis's page and the Jacob Belka page at the time, and I didn't have anybody helping me out. But I was like say on their pages all the time, and I was really just specifically looking at the females they were pairing. And so I don't know if anybody remembers, but back in the day, like Justin would put like his clutch records on there. And so like I was like, all right, well, I was in this space where I was like, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to spend a bunch of money on animals going forward. I don't know if anybody has kids out there, but my daughter at the time was in club volleyball. So some of my earmarked snake money had to get reallocated to club volleyball money. So I was like, man, how am I gonna grow this thing and make it something cool? Because I'm looking at what they're producing and whatnot, and I'm like going back. I'm looking at Justin's at his clutch records. I'm looking at just the females he's pairing. I was like, man, he's making these crazy snakes back in 2014, 2015, 2016, and he's making just kind of like single gene female hets, that type of thing. I was like, I'm gonna have to make it all myself. And so from the get go, it was always preparing for the future. So kind of like that next round of animals I bought a clown male, I bought a pied male, and I bought a few other things. I had like a albino female, but a few other things that I started like making my own heads at that point in time. And so it was always like, all right, at some point I'm gonna start making visual clowns, visual pieds. I bought a couple I bought a het pied, a couple het pied females, a couple het clown females, with intention at some point they'll grow up. But like that was pretty much it from my spending standpoint. And so from the get-go, it was like, all right, well, I thought pieds were cool. I thought clowns at first kind of grew on me. I didn't really like original clowns, but then I saw my first kind of pastel clown and killer clown. I was like, oh, that's what the big deal is. Then Justin made like a fire clown, and it was like off to the races. Then I was like, all right, yeah. But at the time, man, like I remember even when Justin made like leopard clowns and whatnot, it's like just single gene leopard head clown males were like $1,500, $2,000. I was like,
oh wow,
that wasn't in the budget. So it was like I had to make it myself. So it took a little while. Even now, man, the process now has been the same. So it's been a journey, man. I felt like it's funny. Like I felt like on your little your IG thing when you posted I was gonna be on the show, like the knit, grind all my life thing, like that. I feel like that's been me the whole time in the hobby, man. Just grinding for a while and just now starting to make some cool stuff, man. So it's been dope.
Nice. When did you get into the DG project?
DG, man. I lucked out on DG, man. I got into DG like 2016. I bought a DG Posset Clown male.
Okay.
And grew that male up, and it was just like, man, if you prove head clown, man, that could be really really crazy. And so eventually he proved head clown, but so I got into DG super early. Once I found out that it wasn't compatible with hypo, I was like, yeah, that's the move. And like honestly, like that was probably one of the last animals I bought with Marvin's money versus Elegant Anomaly money. So
okay.
I really had to like separate at that point in time because 2016 my son was born. So I was like, all right, club volleyball, son. I was like, money was going bye quick. So yeah, that's when I got into DG.
Okay. How much you said it was a visual clown het DG?
Visual DG Posset Clown.
Okay, visual DG Posset Clown. How much were those going for back then?
So I paid $500 for that mill.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And so that just set the stage for the DG Clown project.
It did, man. It catapulted because like I got him and I was like, man, I remember getting him in. I was like, this can't be real. It's like just way better than the picture. I was like, the picture didn't do any justice. I was like, man, like this thing it's way better than the picture. I was like, these things are crazy. Like, why is nobody talking about these things? And I shelved him and grew him up, and instantly right away he went to pretty much everything I could think of, man. Yeah, he went to a lot. Still to this day he goes to a lot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So at the time, did some people think it was compatible with hypo?
At the time, like there's just a lot of confusion about like just the naming of desert ghosts. You had the desert gene, so I think that turned a lot of people off, and they were confused about that, man. But I looked into it. I was like, man, it's not desert, so it's viable. It's producing viable clutches, obviously. And then like it took a little bit of research. It was like not compatible with hypo. I was like, all right, well, once I figured that out, I was like, all right, yeah, that's it. So
Yeah, DG Clown is a dope project. What are your thoughts on like the news that came out about DG? Like,
it's funny, man. I don't really comment too much on Facebook stuff outside of our local ball python group, but
uh-huh.
Someone posted the DG like one today about that, and news wise, I think it's just one of those things. Like use it to your advantage to make more visuals, and understand sometimes when you do certain pairings, it's just bad odds. What I thought in some cases were bad odds just could be because it's not lining up, because you got to view it really kind of like Summer said, I think on was that the podcast with Summer, Justin, and maybe MJ, I think it was on his.
Yeah.
She talked about you have to view it really as kind of like a double visual. Like
yeah.
So you just have to understand, like, you're gonna miss because maybe you don't have things lined up correctly. So instead of getting maybe some 50-50 or 25% chance odds, you're going to be a little worse than those. So conversely, on the flip side of that is sometimes you're going to be on the opposite side, you're going to be a little bit better too. So once you figure that out, it can really help you out. So that's going to be the move around here, just kind of getting a couple of these males tested, so I know, like, I have so much het stuff that I've been kind of growing up and making. It'll really kind of help me out as far as like what to pair with what, I think, in the future. So just trying to hit more visuals.
Gotcha. How many DG Clowns have you hit? I know you hit a few this season.
Those are my first ones, man.
Those are your first ones?
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
bro. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Last year, I struck out. I'm trying to think. I did. So last year, my first shot edit was visual. I used that male again. I ran him back to one of his offspring. I did Lemon Blast, which proved double het DG Clown at the time. She was only 50% posset clown. I paired her back to the father, which was DG het clown. 7 eggs, and at the time it was probably like my coolest clutch because I got visual DGs in that clutch, and I got visual clowns in that clutch. No DG clowns. 7 eggs. And so it was rough. It was a kick in the teeth last year. I had a few guys that I sold DG stuff to that made DG clowns before me, so that was a bit rough. I'm not sure if Zach is in the building, but that's Micaiah's brother.
Okay.
He hit DG clowns before me.
Okay, gotcha.
And then there's another guy here who he moved away. I sold him a pair of just het DG females that I was like, they're posset pods. They're 50% posset pods. And so I remember hitting him up on Messenger one day, like, hey, look, man, after my DG proved het clown, it's like, they're also a 50% posset clown. I was like, good luck, bro. And then he hits me up one day. He's like, man, that female, one of those females of yours proved. I was like, show me the clutch. He's like, he clowns. I was like, did you hit DG clown? He sends me a picture. No words, just a picture. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Pastel Inchy DG clown is what he hit. So I had 2 guys last year that hit DG clowns before me. But happy for him, but it sucked for me, but happy for them. So this year for me, man, I'm really kind of hoping it's the year of DG clowns. I have 2 that I hit so far, and I should have probably maybe 3 more cracks at it. So we'll see. Those are the long odds, but yeah.
Nice. That's what's up, man. Like, I feel like I have bad luck with the DG Clown project. And last year, I had like 1 pair like in that project. Okay. And that girl ended up basically slugging out. Like, she had 1 egg that had like weak veins. Yeah. And it went bad on me like in the last like 3 or 4 days. Like right at the end, it went bad. Yeah. I was like, man, because I was hoping the whole time. I was like, at least let this be a banger. At least let this be a banger. So like I held on hope the whole time. And so like right at the end, like it's just,
man, that's the worst. That's the kick in the teeth, man. It's the
worst. And then this year, I had a female. She dropped 7 eggs, but 3 of them were slugs. And so I got 4 good eggs in the incubator right now. And so hopefully I get some good odds on those. It's not shots at DG Clown, but it can be like some visual clown hit DGs.
Oh, and nice.
And so looking forward to that. Hopefully I have good odds, good sex odds, good genetic odds, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, like I said, it was like a punch in the stomach. Like,
man, it's the worst, man. I've had a few of those.
And then I got a clown pie girl that she'll be laying not probably like 6 weeks or so. She'll
Okay.
probably be laying.
Nice.
But I put a DG het clown male to her, like a
Okay.
DG combo het clown male to her, and hopefully she give me some good eggs and there's no issues because that'd be
Yeah.
nice to have like some good eggs in
Nice.
that project.
Hit some visual clown double head DG pods.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes,
Good
sir.
project. Be a good project,
So,
man.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, I have one long shot at DG pods this year. And then so from then I have one female. I'm pretty sure she's gonna prove het pod. She's a leopard het DG. She's 50% posset clown pod. So she's paired back to that DG het clown because I'm 99.9% sure she can prove het pod. So I was like, let's figure out that part, the clown part, on that one. And then we'll do the flip side with her sister, who's just a normal, but same thing, het DG, 50% posset clown pod. And we'll do the flip side with her. We'll just pair her to something to shoot for DG pods. So we'll see if those girls end up going or not. I'm not sure if they're going to go or not, but that's just more long shot stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the pod project just in general? Like I know some people moving away from the pod project. Me personally, I like the pod project, but interesting to see what your thoughts are.
Yeah, man, I like pods, man. They were one of the first recessors that caught my eye. I think just normal as everyone else. Personally, I'm moving away from it a little bit too, but not because I dislike it. I want to put the right genes in pod, and then obviously get into the DG pod. But my move away from it is just because I don't have enough room. I can't do everything, and I'm a huge fan of puzzle. So
Gotcha.
That for me is it. I love pods. It's just if I look at my collection in terms of like how many collections I want to do, I'm primarily DG. I'm super DG heavy, so primarily DG, and then like off that, it's like, well, what other things do I want to see in DG? I'm already doing DG clown. I was like, DG puzzle is the move, and then it's like, well, if I'm shooting for a triple, what works well with both those things that I think would work? And I haven't been a huge fan of hypo, but hypo works really well in both those. I know you're a big hypo, like
yes,
hypo
sir.
guy. So it's really kind of caught my eye a little bit lately. I was like, seeing DG hypo. Oh, I see Yates in the building. What up, Yates? We've done a couple together. We did a clutch together last year, so I was able to get a pastel blackhead double head DG hypo from the clutch I did with Yates, man. But so hypo, I think in those caught my eye. So I want to do a lot of it, but I definitely want to mix it in both those things. And it's like from a room perspective and how many clutches I want to do a year. Because for me, man, this isn't something I want to do full time. It's like it's always gonna be kind of like a hobby-ish business type thing for me. So I want to kind of cap my clutches and really just work with those types of things. So something has to go, and for me, it's pod, I guess, out of that mix. If I gotta cut something, it's like guess it's gotta be pod. So I'll do a little bit of pod stuff, but not as much DG clown, DG puzzle, and hopefully some hypo mixing and all those things as well. So
what genes are you gonna work with in pod?
In pod?
Yeah, and not necessarily recessives, but like incomplete dominance. More so.
Yeah, so right now for me, it's a lot of inchy because I want more pattern in there. So inchy, orange dream. I'll try and work pinstripe in there as well. Something that's gonna give it more pattern. I really like blackhead and even GHI in there too. So
gotcha.
Those are some things I feel like I'm already working those in my DG stuff and even DG clown stuff. It'd be easier to mix in and go DG pod with those types of things.
Those lace combo clown pies that Justin hit, man, those are insane.
Yeah, I'm team lace, bro. I haven't talked about this yet at all, but I just had my first lace clown clutch.
Nice. So what was the pairing?
The pairing was just a normal clown. I paired her to two different males. I paired her to I have a chocolate double head hypo clown male.
Oh, nice.
And then I also paired her to a lace het clown. He's also 50% pos het DG hypo. So I was like, let me do that, and hopefully I get a dual sire. But either one of those males takes it, I'll be happy with either one of them. And the lace took it, so no chocolates in there at all. So it's all lace stuff. So just normal lace, but man, like they look so good, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm team lace for sure too.
Yeah, definitely.
And team chocolate too.
Yeah,
so
I love
you
both
couldn't go
those.
wrong with either one of those.
You really can't. Yeah, so for me, man, like I felt like my clown stuff, like I just was missing, and just it's just lacking, just from in my opinion, from when I entered the hobby. Like what I felt like, I could have hit some things, just missed, had some bad things happen. I was like, so for me now, it's like trying to find like a little bit more like the obscure stuff to put in the clown. So that's why I went with chocolate and I went with lace, just to throw those in and try and hit something cool, and then turn right back around and flip that into more clown stuff or DG stuff would be the move. So
nice.
Yeah.
And chocolate is one of those genes that ages really well too.
It does. It ages really
nice.
well. It ages really well.
Yeah, so I love chocolate. So which route are you trying to go with the chocolate hypo clown project?
With chocolate, man, hopefully V8 won't get too mad at me for telling about this, but he posted on IG, so I'm gonna say it anyways. We have a joint clutch together, man. So I sent him my chocolate. She's a pos het DG girl, and so I sent that over to him to pair to one of his DG males. I don't know if he said the male on there, so I'm a shy away from saying what male he put to it.
Okay, respect.
Unless he says something in the comments, man. But I'm a shy away from that. But that could be something really good, man. And then from there, whatever comes out of that, hopefully, we can. She proves that we can hit some nice, chocolate DG stuff. She's instantly going to go to clown at DG, and quickly try and get that into DG clown.
See, I see Matt talking my language in the comments. Like he's talking about blackhead, chocolate, Wookie. I love all those genes in that complex for the most part. Like I don't work with spider and I don't work with champagne, and I don't work with hidden gene Woma, but pretty much everything else I like working with, like cypress, spot nose. Okay. I don't have Wookie, but I want to get some Wookie in my collection. Hopefully I can get some at the end of the year. What else? I don't know if I said cypress, but cypress for sure. I love cypress. All of that chocolate, blackhead, all that.
I love same over here, man. I love all that, man. Cypress. I had some cypress stuff that I'm excited about. Some cypress special stuff. Their head DG that I'm excited about.
Oh, nice.
I like I said, love the chocolate stuff. I'm trying to think. What else did you say in there? That
blackhead,
Wookie, blackhead. Hidden gene Woma. You said it. I love hidden gene Woma stuff. I have
I don't have any. I don't work it, but I don't dislike it. I don't have any.
For me, man, I think it's slept on. Like, Justin, put out Spot Nose Clown stuff, and I think people really kind of skipped over hidden gene Woma. It reacts very similarly. It's really busy. So I like that a lot. I'm definitely going to work that into DG Clown.
Okay.
I have a clutch in the incubator of some hidden gene Woma stuff. They just hatched out a couple days ago. So, that should be pretty cool stuff too. That's my one kind of non-recessive for the most part. That clutch is like 50% pos het pod. I was just kind of like trying to prove out a female. She was I bought her as hidden gene Woma, yellow belly or Spectre. Her first clutch she gave me, I paired to a gravel, and I didn't hit anything in the clutch that could tell me either way what she was. So I ran her back to something that had yellow belly in it. So there's some super stripe stuff, hidden Woma super stripe stuff in there. So
okay,
I like hidden Woma a lot, man.
Nice. Rashad from 212 Xotics. He work a lot with hidden Woma, or he likes it a lot.
Yeah, I like it a lot, man. I feel like it's slept on. So it's definitely gonna get ran into DG Clown, definitely.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. And so you recently had like a Partho. Was she a clown pod? Was it?
Yeah, man. That clutch was so interesting, man. you know, I've gotten some people on there tell me like there's no way that could be Partho and whatever. So basically, I was just trying to make leopard clowns that were het DG. So the pairing was a leopard het clown, 50% pos het pod. I paired her to DG het clown because DG het clown goes with pretty much everything. And so that was the pairing. And so you know, I was here with my son, and he does, you know, a lot of like the clutch cutting with me. So he's having pick out, you know, egg and cut it, and I was like, that's a pod. What is this? Like, this don't make no sense. Second egg, clown. Okay. Next egg after that, clown pod. I was so confused, bro. And then you know, had another egg after that, like deformed. It was a clown pod, deformed. Just never made it out the egg. Then cut the other one, clown pod, deformed as well. Some people here, I told them that snake looked kind of like, I don't know if you follow Nerd and all, but Snarfles, like the retic.
Yeah.
That snake looked kind of like that. It made it out the egg, it shed, and then it died a couple days after shed. So, and then everything's all female. So, there's a leopard in there too. So, my understanding is that the leopards in there are all super leopards. So, super leopard pod, super leopard clown, and then the clown pod, and they're all doing well, man. Except for the super leopard, she's weird on eating, but the other ones, man, they smash food.
So how does it work with the Partho in terms of like passing their genetics? So do they just pass 2 copies of everything, like, or every gene that they pass 2 copies of it? How does it work?
So since you mean, I was actually messaging Ben the other day from Rare Genetics because someone else had brought up like, man, like there's no way that could be a Partho clutch. And so I was like, let me message him real quick and see what his thoughts were on that. And he's like, man, basically in that pairing, he's like, you should get, you know, normals, leopards, pods, clowns, clown pods. Now, flip side, like the normals, they're only going to be normals of all that. So normal clowns, normal pods, normal clown pods. Flip side is all the leopards are all going to be supers. So you get 2. It's basically like you get 2 copies of everything. The chance to get 2 copies of everything, because it's just the mom's genetics. So the great thing about that is that the mom proved het pod, which I thought she was going to prove. So it just kind of ran through there, and it just so it turns out that you're going to get a chance to make all those different combos off that mom.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So she threw 2 clowns, 2 pod genes. Yeah. 2 copies of clown, 2 copies of pod. That's what's up. That's what's up. And you said she's doing good now? She's doing well?
Yeah. Mom's doing well. All the babies are doing well, except for the leopard is kind of the only one that's kind of iffy on eating. She'll eat 1 week. She always kills the food, but sometimes she just doesn't eat it. So she's the only one that's not like consistently eating. She'll eat one week and actually eat, and then following week she'll wrap, won't eat it. Don't know, then she'll wrap, she won't eat it. Try and refeed her, and then like the following week she'll eat. So trying to get her going a little bit more consistently. But the other ones, man, they're doing well. They're smash food. That's what's
up. So yeah, I don't know a ton about Partho, obviously, but like, are they fertile?
My understanding is they are fertile. My understanding is they're fertile. But when you get a clutch from them, that the majority of the time they end up passing away after they lay a clutch. That's what I've heard. I don't know. Wow. I don't know the accuracy of that. But
did they say why?
I don't know, man. Matter of fact, just sponsor Shane Kelly. Like, man, shout out Shane, man. He was a big help. And that I knew he had a couple Parthos, so he was one of the first people I reached out to. He was super helpful. He's always been super helpful whenever I reach out to him. So shout out Shane if you're still out there, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Shane a good dude.
Yeah, solid dude, man.
Speaking of sponsor, let's take a real quick break. Shout out to another sponsor, brand new this month.
Let's do it.
Every day at Reptile Lifeline begins with a promise of quality and commitment. We carefully select our ball pythons to offer you nothing but the very best. Our quality isn't rushed, it's enjoyed, just like a moment of peace by the water. That's why we've chosen to focus on the long game, working projects such as Pied, Clown, Desert Ghost, Rainbow, and Sunset. At the end of the day, we're fired up about quality. That's the Reptile Lifeline promise.
Shout out to the homie, Harry. Appreciate the support, brother.
Dope, man. Dope. Rainbow, man. Rainbow doesn't get a lot of love. Rainbow looks so good, bro.
Man, it looks crazy, bro.
In person.
We was joking that day, man. Like, I wish I had unlimited like resources because I would work every single thing. Probably not, but still I would work a lot more if I had like a lot more space available and like, just like resources. But that's another one that's good.
Yeah, the homie Joel out here from State 48, he had Rainbow. He's the only person I've seen with Rainbow. I remember being over his place and opening the tub. Was like, I closed it right back. I looked at him like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. This don't make no sense. Yeah, Rainbow's dope, man.
Yeah, man. And speaking of like other projects, Puzzle is another one that I like too, but trying my hardest like to just not do it, not pull the trigger, but probably at some point I will get into it. But Puzzle is another one I want to work. So you said you work in DG Puzzle. What else are you throwing in?
Yeah, so my Puzzle female, she's 66% plus at hypo. So eventually, so the first year, I have a collection incubator from her right now. She saw a DG, of course. So because I need a male to run to something I'm growing up. So but next season, if she gets back up to size, I definitely want to pair that. I have a chocolate hypo head clown male. Definitely want to throw something hypo to her just to see if she's had hypo. I like that Puzzle hypo, DG Puzzle, like that route with that project. So that's like the direction I'll go with Puzzle.
Okay, yeah, Puzzle's dope, man. It's a lot to be done with Puzzle.
Yeah, I feel like Puzzle's like I feel like it's like the newer breeders' version of clown, right? Like
Josh was saying something similar. Do you think it'll overtake clown? Josh thinks it will at some point.
I don't know if it'll overtake clown. I think it's just more opportunity out there because like it's newer. It does some similar stuff in terms of like busy pattern, depending on what you put into it. It brightens stuff up, even like pastel and puzzle. Like, who would have thought? Like, pastel and puzzle looks really good. Even if you hate pastel, like it looks really good. So it does, some brightening stuff too. So I think long term it may be at some point equal footing. You may see clowns take a step back, who knows, because it's been worked longer, but and the direction the hobby's going with doubles and triples, it's like there's so much in puzzle that hasn't been made yet. So I mean, you can just work regular puzzle for a little minute and make some cool stuff. So I like that project a lot.
Yeah, I think DG Puzzle, Ultramel Puzzle, and Hypo Puzzle are like the three that intrigue me the most.
Ultramel Puzzle looks really good.
Yeah.
I don't have any Ultramel stuff, Ultramel or Monarch. I like Monarch too. I know there's like Monarch Ultramel controversy out there. For my collection, speaking of having if more space, more money, more time, that type of thing. For my collection, I'd probably work Monarch just because I think that those darker kind of burgundies will look really good in DG. I'm not gonna work either one of them, but they both look really good. No hate on either one. They both look really good.
Yeah, like I'm firmly team Ultramel, but I ain't gonna lie, I like Monarch too. Yeah. They both look good and they both serve their purposes.
Absolutely. You put the right thing in Ultramel, it's gonna be banging. Put the right thing in Monarch, it's gonna be banging.
Stuff to do with Ultramel too. Yeah. And I mean, you obviously know, but Hypo Clown is probably hands down my favorite project. And then throwing DG in and doing Hypo DG Clown, like I really like that project as well. Yeah, but it's a ton to do with Hypo, and then I feel like Hypo is slept on a lot too, just for like the aging, right? and how well the hypo ages. Because I mean, I don't have a single hypo animal that browned out or anything like that. Like it all looks
Yeah,
good as hell as an adult. So
yeah, 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 man.
appreciate you, Daniel. Team
Uh,
Monarch.
yeah, I actually just got my first visual hypo, and that's that hypo chocolate head clown male that I'm growing
Okay.
up. So
That's a
um,
nice meal to have too.
it is. Matter of fact, I got that from Micaiah earlier. So yeah, it's a nice male to have, man. And he looks good. He's growing up real well over here. So looking forward to producing some more hypo stuff. And what's funny, man, like I wasn't a big fan of hypo either. And then like people were like, "Man, Marvin, you have like all this DG stuff. You're be making a lot of DG stuff. Like, have you seen DG hypos? Like, everybody that has DG hypos that I know has DG hypos, like it looks so good." And so I would see more of it. I'm like, man, they're not lying, bro. Like, all right, so so that's the move, man. I was like, all right, let's figure out how to work it. And like I said, I only had a few things. The things I had that were hypo were just because I like the genes, So a while back, I bought a blackhead hypo female, and I didn't really care about the head hypo part. I just wanted the blackhead in the collection, and it was really good quality blackhead. And I was like, all right, let's just do that. So the stuff I've had, even the puzzle girl, Posset hypo is like, I just got her just because she's a breeder size puzzle. She's like,
Why not?
I got her. She was like 900 grams is when I think I bought her at. So it was like,
that's well started.
And they were going so fast back then. So I was like, I just pulled the trigger. I was like, no, done. So then I look up and it's like, you have 4 or 5 animals that are het puzzle or posset puzzles. Like, let's make that move and let's see if we can work that into some things.
100%, 100%. So when was it you picked up that girl?
I picked up the puzzle girl in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah. 2021. 2021.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's lagging again too. So again, I apologize if I'm talking over you.
Oh, you good, man. Sorry, that may be on my end, man. So apologies.
Oh, it's all good. So my internet be tripping too. It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, man. So what was the animal that I know you're like, say you're a big hypo clown fan. What was the animal that like you're like, nah, I got hypo clowns to move for you?
What was the animal that made hypo clown to move for me?
Yeah,
that's a good question. I think just really like seeing the hypo clowns. Like I really like the hypo clowns, and so I was like that project has a lot of potential. And I got hypo, I got clown, and probably like it's probably like what 2.5 years ago now. Like I really start thinking in terms of like a multi-recessive mindset, and it was just like it made perfect sense to me, and it was something I like, and it was something I had in my collection already. So why not work it?
So what's the hypo clown? If all things go well on your end, what's the hypo clown that you really want to see out of your collection? Just like this year coming up, if you have a chance.
This year coming up. So this year coming up, I only got one shot at visual hypo clowns, and it's nothing like spectacular. I mean, it's dope, but it's not like nothing like groundbreaking. It's not gonna be like a world's first or anything like that. And so it's a pastel inchy double head hypo clown to a Mojave hypo clown.
Okay.
And so I have some shots, some double visuals. In fact, that'll be my only shot at double visuals, and she in the blue now, and so she should be having her prelay any day now.
Okay.
And that's this year, but next year is when my hypo clown stuff, hopefully, knock on wood, stuff should start taking off and kind of like growing legs. Because I got 2 hypo head clown girls that I don't think they're gonna go this year. One of them I know it's not gonna go. One of them looked like she was gonna build, but I don't think she's gonna do anything. And so hopefully both of those will be ready next year. But it's the male that's really like changing things for me. And so it's a vanilla Dark Knight, 100% head hypo male.
Yeah.
And so I should have some dope pairs with him because I'm gonna put him to a chocolate leopard Huffman double head hypo clown female next year, I'm gonna put him to blackhead, inchy, double head, hypo clown, and then a couple more parents too. And so that's
Nice,
when my hypo clown stuff should start taking off. Hopefully.
nice. Yeah, yeah. That's
So
that's a
knock on wood.
banger. That's a banger of a mail, man. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I got him from 514.
Okay, okay. Nice, nice. Yeah, you know, like I said, I kind of stumbled into the hypo clown stuff from Micaiah, trade some stuff with him a little while back. So hopefully next season I can hit, you know, visual hypo clown stuff. Just chocolate hypo clown from that male. I have a clown posset hypo female that I'm growing up. She's 66% posset hypo, but that could be pretty cool just to do that, and then like I said, flip that into some clown stuff. So just to try and amp up my weak clown game over here. So
The chocolate, the chocolate hypo clown game. That's the move, bro.
yeah, yeah,
That's the move, bro.
that'd be nice. So outside of that, man, it's just trying to figure out if that lace male I mentioned earlier, if he's gonna prove het for DG or hypo. That, I mean, one of those would be really nice, you know. So that lace head clown male, he saw a pastel clown, or excuse me, not pastel clown. He saw a pastel DG that was pastel clown. She tested negative for clown though. So so fingers crossed he proves that DG in that one. If not, I'd try and find something hypo to throw him to too. I have a double head. I have a chocolate double head hypo clown female I'm growing up. She won't be ready for next year, I don't think, but that could be pretty interesting too down the line.
Yeah. Yes, sir. That's gonna be dope.
I'm team lace over here, man. I love lace stuff.
Oh yeah, man. Lace stuff is dope.
Yeah.
Lace is dope as hell.
Yeah, man. So outside that, man, I'm envious of all you guys who've gotten in the hobby a little bit more recently, because the bang for you guys is buck, man. Like the animals you guys are able to pick up, they're just crazy. So on my end, I just look at it as like, man, I've been taking all this time to hatch my own stuff and grow stuff up. It's like looking to bring in like a banger male, like to really kind of amp up what I'm producing, or produce a banger male. You know, that DG clown stuff's going to help out a lot.
So based on what you got right now, if you had to pick up a banger male from somewhere, what would be kind of like the perfect male that could like really kind of like take you to that next level? Like what would be the perfect male?
Man, that's a great question, bro. Honestly, man, I kick myself because I didn't pull the trigger on getting a Krypton het DG male a while back. With all the stuff I have that's het DG, posset clown, having another banger male with like Krypton would work. So it'd be some type of DG Krypton het hypo male, right? Like something like that, you know. And obviously with that type of a male, like the genes you put in there would be, you know, something dark, like what don't I have that would be great as like a double, like some type of like OD blackhead lace.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Crazy. Like if, you know, money's no object type of a thing, you just kind of like make up whatever, like that male exists, you know. but some type of like OD lace, you know, blackhead Krypton DG het hypo would be like insane, you know, and then just run that to everything.
So in terms of like stuff you might produce, if you hit like that male, like a super chocolate hypo clown, really that's like a triple.
Yeah.
Like the way it's gonna behave.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
That even if you put that with spot nose or hinging Roma, I think those should still be a allelic, right? I think so.
Yeah.
Something like that. So you're not making normals anymore. Like that stuff, in my opinion, would look really good with what I'm working with. DG, clown, hopefully some puzzle stuff. But yeah, that stuff would look really good in the mix.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Like that'd be nuts, bro. Like,
yeah, man, it's like, you know, you get in these conversations and the wheels just kind of like start turning. Like It's like, man, I've been like on the cusp of like making cool stuff. I joke around all the time. I haven't made anything cool, man, but it's the past couple of years have been slowly making something cool here and there. So yeah, it's like you get to that point with the collection, you're like, man, like the wheels just start turning a little bit more. Like, man, I could really start making some banger stuff here pretty soon. So
I see Sloan said Stranger Lace Clown. Stranger is one of those jeans that I want to get in the collection, but I don't have it. But I definitely want to get it in. But I'm definitely gonna go like double recessive with it once I get it in.
yeah, man, I like Stranger stuff, man, a lot. I don't have it in the collection either. I have Mahogany though.
Coach.
And oh, hey, what up, Coach? That's my and so I have Mahogany in the collection, and so last year I wanted to pair that Mahogany to a Paso Clown Hat DG because I like Mahogany Clown stuff, and that Paso Clown Hat DG, man, I can't get him a breed for nothing. So I was like, you know what? She was getting pretty close to like when I would pair her up, and just saw since she didn't go last year, that Mahogany girl didn't go last year. I was like, let me try and one lock clutch it with this DG head clown male because I don't want to wear them out too much. But like, so a lot of my stuff I try and get 1 or 2 locks and just call it good. I was like, let me see if I can just do 1 lock with her and get her to go, and hopefully we'll shed test some stuff and make some Mahogany het DG and hopefully double het DG clown stuff, and then hopefully quickly flip that into DG clown.
How many females does that DG het clown see per year? Like, I imagine he's a soldier at this point.
He's a soldier, man. He's huge. I have, man, that's great. He'll probably see like 8 or 9 girls this season.
Oh, nice, nice.
It helps. Like when I look at my pairings, like about half of them are proven breeders. So with that stuff, it's easier to just do 2 locks. I know, and I try and get that lock in early. About the time I normally pair them, that first lock in. And what I do, man, I don't ultrasound. I don't have ultrasound, so I basically I'll get that first lock in. I'll skip the next month. I won't get a lock in, and then I'll do the following month after that. And typically, like, it's just 2 locks and done. That way I don't wear them out. I know ultrasound would be really helpful and to not wear them out, but some of that stuff, it's like I know when they're gonna go. They're gonna lay about the same time, the following year, anyways. As long as they've had, they've ate well. So
you got the institutional knowledge with your females.
What's that?
So you got that institutional knowledge with your females.
Yeah, man, it really helps with like just watching your girls and that they just have that look, when they're gonna go. So yeah, it definitely is helpful for when I don't have an ultrasound, to just like make sure I only get like 1 or 2 locks, and that way I'm not wearing them out. And with these younger girls, that way you can get an extra lock in. You can go 3 locks with them. But I try with proven breeders like 1 or 2 locks and call it good. Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah. The other day I was talking. I think it was with Josh, but it was on the show, and he mentioned like with the younger males to try to get like a extra lock in, because I had mentioned that I was trying to do like the 2 or 3, and he said that sometimes it might be helpful to get that 4th one in with a younger male. Otherwise, you get like weaker veins. And I think that's what happened with that one where the girl had 7 eggs and I got like 3 slugs. I think that's what happened. I don't know. Like I'm trying to figure out like this whole slug thing. Like it's got me like pulling my hair out.
Yeah, man. I would agree, man. That clutch that lace clutch I was talking about earlier, like both those males that I paired to her were first time breeder males. So the chocolate went to her early. And she was already starting to build a little bit then at that point in time, but he went to her early, and then I had the lace come in late, like almost like 3 weeks before she ovulated. Like he came in super late, maybe a month, maybe I would say maybe a month before she ovulated, and got that last lock in. But yeah, I think with those young males, it's definitely helpful to get that extra lock in, and just to kind of shore up the clutch.
Yeah, so that's another little tool that I'm gonna put in the old toolkit going forward.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That, and I think for me early in the, I'm gonna take a quick pause. Hey, good luck on that, on that clutch. Big fella. Rob's talking about his clutch he had coming up. But
oh yeah, the hypo super chocolate.
yeah,
that'd
good
be
luck with
sweet.
that, bro.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. So, yeah, with my thing early was like, because I was producing my own stuff, trying to make my own hets. I didn't have like backup males. So early, like if like I remember like that pod male I had, like he didn't go the first year when I had some females that were up to size, so I could make some visual pod stuff, and end up having to wait like a whole extra year because I didn't even have like a het male to back up. So having backup males is helpful. Even like I said, that Paso Clown het DG male, man, like I sold. I now I look back on it, I was like, man, I sold 3 or 4 clown het DG males when they were kind of hot. I was like, can one of y'all send one of those jokers back? Like, because like, man, like I could have, there's some stuff I could have hit. I was like, I need that male to do some things. So I held back another clown het DG male that I produced, and hopefully he can go later this season and steal a clutch or something like that, but we'll see.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not at that point to where I got backup males in every project. I got like a backup male in like one project, and that's it.
Okay. Yeah. So, having that backup male definitely would have helped out earlier. Heck, even last year would have helped out in that case. But, and then making sure I'm not wearing out my stud male with no ultrasound. Just trying to, I'm 8 seasons deep, I think. So, I start picking up on those signs early. From females like looking like they're gonna go. They just kind of get that mom kind of pudginess towards the end as I pick them up and kind of hang them vertically, and you can kind of see the belly kind of protruding a little bit. You go like all good signs in the bull wrap, and just look for all that stuff, man. Cool seeking, and some of those tips I picked up on, like just listening to people talk about it, and picking up on it as I do my own breeding. So it's helping. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
palpating, I'm not the greatest at.
Neither am I. That's exactly what I was about to say. Like, I'm not good at palpating yet, but I can tell the difference when like a female is pretty far along just by how she feels.
Yeah.
And so I have noticed that too. Like when I'm going through and I'm taking them out the tub and stuff, like, oh yeah, she feels different, or she feels close. She feels different than she normally does. And so I am starting to like feel that, but I'm not at palpating yet. Like
even like the tail, like the base, like it starts to get like a little firm, like you can kind of pick them up as they kind of like as they're going through that progression of and so like the way I hear people talk who when I hear people that ultrasound, when I hear them talk about like follicle size and follicular development, like that was kind of like the reason for like my pair them once, get them feeding, see how the feeding response goes. If they start pounding food, I'm like, oh, that's a good sign, right? Like, all right, so I'll skip that following month. I won't pair. Try not to waste, and then like we'll follow up again, like so it's like a 2-month break between like that first block and the second one. And I think like timing wise, I should time up if her follicles are growing like they should, that should time up somewhere with her being, I think on the follicular development side, like 18 to 20 ish mils. So another good time to pair. So that's just the way I've worked it. At some point I'll have to ultrasound. But
Eric said that he got the hookup on the ultrasound.
Yes, I saw that. I've for the local guys, man. I know Zach had an ultrasound, and I tried. He let me borrow it a couple times, and I tried. And for the most part, I couldn't get it figured out. I was like in here, and I was like getting frustrated. I was like, let me just do what works, So I went back to Old Faithful, man.
Greg, I appreciate that. Make sure y'all get those likes up. Make those likes respectable. Get them up.
Hit that like button, man.
So what was I about to say? It had to do with the ultrasound. I don't know. It'll come back to me.
Yeah, because I know you ultrasound, right? Like you have ultrasound.
Yeah. Like right now, ultrasound like every 3 weeks.
Okay.
And so that helps me because I mean, we only been doing it since 2020. We only been doing breeding, and so it helps me like kind of like see the progress and like see like where they are kind of along like their development cycle and whatnot. And it's really helpful for me. Otherwise, I'd be driving myself crazy because I would be just wondering like how far along is she?
Pretty much.
Is that it? So shout out to you for being able to go through it and like not go crazy. I know me personally, I would go crazy.
Yeah, I think at this point, man, I just like I just have it down. Like I just know my animals, man. Like for the most part, like when you get to this point where you like most of the stuff I've hatched, like I've watched it grow up. Like so, it's you get to that point, you see them every day. It's like, all right, you start to pick up on those signs a little bit more. And then I tell people all the time, like the people that kind of knew the hobby, like man, I think this female's gonna lay. I think I may miss her ovulation. I was like, all right, so how about this? Go in and mess up the bedding. Like just straighten them all back out and place it back down. If she gets back over that hot spot and she circles all that stuff out, she pushes the bedding to the side, you're probably about 3 weeks to a month out.
Okay.
It depends on when you saw it, you maybe but like she's pretty close. I would say 3 weeks a month, probably even closer like that, 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks out. So I do that all the time. Like man, I get a female like, all right, well, I think I might have missed an ovulation. The ovulation was kind of weak. I was like, all right, well, mess the bedding back up, set her back in, and literally like that night, go back in the following morning, it's all pushed to the side. I'm like, all right, she's gonna be laying pretty soon.
Okay, yeah, that's a nifty little trick. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going back to what I had forgot. What I was going to ask you is like, so do you keep like the records of like how long from pre-lay shed to when they lay and stuff like that? Do you track all of that?
I try to, man, just a little bit in the sense of like, just so I know. But for the most part, it's just when she laid, I kind of backtrack from there. I know like after pre-lay shed, she's gonna. I mean, after ovulation, I'm gonna get pre-lay shed about 15-ish or so days later. She's gonna go into that pre-lay shed. So you kind of figure it all out from there, and then from there, I just kind of backtrack in terms of like when she needs to see that first lock. The next season if she's up to size. So I keep track of that stuff, but I'm not overly in depth in terms of like the sheds and ovulations and that type of thing. I if I see it, I'll track it. But like I said, some of these females they're getting pretty big, they're pretty girthy. It's like some of the ovulations may be a little weaker. It's like maybe so I'll note it, but for the most part, it's like I'll backtrack from when she laid.
So in terms of record keeping, what all are you tracking?
So I track like feeding, which is a bit of a hassle, but like I just track feeding, and then when I pair, the dates. If I see a lock, I'll write down that, and then if I catch an ovulation pre-lay shed, I'll mark it, and then I'll mark what I think is a pre-lay shed. Like if I miss an ovulation for some reason, I'll mark what I think is a pre-lay shed. That way I can kind of at least time out when I think she may go.
Gotcha. And as far as like your clutches and the hatchlings and all that, how are you tracking all that?
So I got a like reptile scan like way back in the day.
Gotcha.
So I'm playing around with maybe doing something a little bit different, but like I got in so long ago with that, it was like I pay like next to nothing to do it and I had so many animals on there. It's like it's more of a hassle just switching over to something else versus anything else,
So if you switched over to like a new record keeping software, which one would you go with, or at least what you think at this point?
I wouldn't even know, man. I probably play around with both Clutch and what's Mutation Creation?
Husbandry Pro.
Husbandry Pro. I know some people that use Husbandry Pro and they like it a lot. So
yeah, that's what I use right now.
That what you use? Okay.
Yeah. I think I do. Go ahead.
I have it on my phone just to kind of like play with it, and I just never uploaded any animals. So
I think you can do like a data dump from Reptile Scan.
Oh, can you?
Into like a CSV file and upload it all to Husbandry Pro. Okay. I think you can do that.
Interesting. Yeah,
so that'll save you some time.
It's like as many animals as I have, I was like, man, that would take forever.
Yeah, so I got into Husbandry Pro like early into it because at first I was just using the spreadsheet. Because I mean I do a lot of stuff in spreadsheets, and so like my default is to go to a spreadsheet, but that quickly became a hassle. It's like that's not working. And so I think I tried Reptile Scan for a little bit, and then I tried like the free version or whatever, and then I tried like Husbandry Pro for a while, and I just end up sticking with Husbandry Pro.
Yeah. I'd probably play around both those, man. And if I had to switch, And I may look at it just because sometimes like the scanner doesn't work, but like everything's labeled, man. Like it's like I got cars that it's more of a hassle than anything, man. But at one of these points, I may switch back over some different.
Yeah, that's the hard thing about switching like from to a new software. It's just like getting everything over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just changing up the way you've been doing everything for a while.
Yeah, how big's your collection right now?
Probably a little bit over 100 animals, like right now, and that's including like recent hatchlings too.
Okay, yeah,
because we just had 3 clutches hatch in probably the last month or so.
Okay, nice.
And so
so even there, like trying to move over like 100 animals, man, like that's enough to distract you from not doing it.
It's a lot, bro.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at, man. It's like I have so many animals. Like, all right, well, that would take so long, but yeah, like you said, put in an Excel file like that download whatever, and just dumping it in. If that will work, that may be something I may play around with at some point.
Yeah, check it out. Like, I didn't upload mine that way, but you can do it though.
Yeah, nice.
Because when I started doing mine, I didn't have a bunch of animals at all, and so it was just easy just to go in there and do it.
Yeah. Like, I feel like if your collection's a little smaller, it's like it's not as much of a deterrent. But you get over that 100 number, and it's like
it becomes a barrier to entry.
Hey, bro. So, that stuff. It looks interesting, and it's funny because like even then, it's like I'll upload I'll put a few animals on there and play around with it, see if I like it better. Because you can put I don't remember how many animals you can put on there for free and just try it out. But I had a few people that were like, man, they like it a lot, husband for a lot, and it's like I just never even did that part of it. I was like, man, how am I gonna put 100 plus animals on here if I can't even put even 5? I can't even put 5 animals on here, let alone 100 plus. Like,
and it's a bunch of stuff you can track on there, but I don't track all the stuff you can track.
Yeah,
because I mean, if you track all that, like that's a lot of work. Like for a while, like I was tracking feedings, I was tracking a whole bunch of stuff, but then like I started reducing like the amount of stuff that I was tracking and just really kind of boiled it down to like certain key things, and most of it is centered around like breeding. So like I'll log the animal in the system like whenever I get it, and so like put in all the information, and I'll tag it so I can do like easy lookups later. I'll upload pictures when I remember to do it. Sometimes I don't remember to upload a picture to it, but like I'll do all like the basic demographic information and set it up, and then from there I'm really not tracking that much into its breeding time, right? And so then I'm tracking like pairings, I'm tracking like ovulations, I'm tracking like clutches and stuff like that, and converting clutches to animals and stuff like that. But I'm mostly tracking breeding activities in there.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting, man. I've actually, because like the collection has gotten so large, man, I've played around with not even tracking feedings, because like I feed everything. So it's like I know what's eating.
Exactly.
I know where everything is. It's like now if I move some things around, rearrange some things, it may take a little bit to find something, but like I know what's eating, what's not eating, where we're at, and just off the top of my head, whatever it is. So I play around with that. I think about that too, because sometimes like when they're like the scanner it's buggy, doesn't really work. Like I'm like, why am I even doing this? I know the snake eats all the dang time. Like, so I've actually been playing around with not doing it. I think that would save me a little bit of time, just not going through and scanning everything.
Yeah, it does save some time. Because I'm like you, like I know who's eating, who's not, and so like, do I need to track all the feedings? So the feedings I do track are like hatching and stuff. So I track those like, I track those religiously just to make sure everyone's getting off on a good start. And so like I'll track that, but I have like a card taped to. And I even changed the way I did it, because I used to have it written down in a notebook. But I was like, this is too much, because I got to find the notebook, I got to find the pen, I got to do all that. And so now I got like a pen like right there, like in like a little magnetic cup right there near the rack. And I got like cards right on there. And so now I can just like mark it right on the card once I see it eat. And so like, boom, got it right there.
Yeah. I do the note card thing too. Just right there, just fill it out and keep going. So I even like up to last week, I was in there feeding. It was late, man. I was like, do I really want to go through and scan all these? So Yeah, I think that's probably gonna be the next thing to go off not recording is not recording feedings, at least for established animals. Hatchlings will still get
Yeah,
that same feeding, man, but established animals, I think I'm good on that stuff.
because I mean, I was asking myself, it was like, why am I tracking it? Like, am I using this data? And it's like, I'm not really using it, so I just stopped. I just
I will
stopped.
say this: the only thing I really kind of use it for is like if I have a female that like maybe she got a late start eating, like she maybe missed a couple weeks like after she laid. I remember back in the day, Barchek said something about like the number of meals he wanted to get into a female before he bred her again, and so that magical number is like 24, 26, something like that, right? So I look at that. So I would go back and go like, all right, maybe this female had a bit of a slow start. And then I'll go back and I'll count like, I was like, oh, she's on 18 or 19 feedings. I was like, I'll pair her. She looks good body weight, looks good. Let's get that one lock in early and see if she ramps up her feeding and see what her response is. So like, that's really it. But honestly, I feel like now I still know all that. I still know like, man, after she laid, did she eat well? Yes or no? Like, so I think for me, like that's probably the next thing to go. Cause I'll be here late sometimes and I'll be tired. And I'm like, man, it's gonna take me 15, 20 minutes to log on stuff, especially this buggy. I was like, sleep. That's like 15, 20 minutes of sleep I could get. So I think I'm already sold. I'm talking myself into it. I'm not recording no more feedings.
Yeah. Anywhere you can save some time and it makes sense. And it's
absolutely
you're still like meeting and doing everything you need to do.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
So I forgot what I was about to say again. It'll come back to me at some point. Maybe it was a comment or something I saw. I can't remember what I was about to say, but anyway, it'll come back to me. But yeah, I constantly just try to look at stuff. Like right now, I'm like a sponge, and I'll always be like that, at least to an extent. Like certain things, I'll probably like that'll become like the way I do it, and I'll have enough experience to know like, hey, this is gonna be the way I'm gonna do it, and this is why, and I can like help pull others along. But like, I listen to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if you got like a helpful tip, I'll listen. Some stuff I might try, some stuff I might not try. But yeah, I'm definitely trying to get better because I mean, the more efficient you can make it, the better.
Yeah, honestly, I just think that's a good life thing. I feel like I can learn from anyone. I don't really care like what you do, what your walk of life is. Like I can learn from anybody. You may have like something that worked for you over there, and it's like, oh man, like I didn't even think about that, you know. So definitely, it's one of those things like you stay open to constantly like learning from people, and because the animals are always teaching you something. Like you can take the whole DG thing, like that no clue. Like I had no clue what polygenetic meant. Like what a month ago, I was like, what the heck does that mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're always learning something, man. So yeah, I think it's a solid way to be in life, man. Just kind of like always be learning.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. But yeah, like I had heard the term polygenetic or polygenic, but I hadn't really like looked into it too tough before the DG stuff, and then like with the DG, given that was a project that I'm in, like now it's like, hey, I need to pay more attention to this so I can understand it, right?
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's cool to learn. It's pretty cool.
Like, yeah, it really is. It's fascinating, man. It's like whenever I talk to like non-reptile people or they find out these snakes, it's like trying to explain like the genetic stuff, man. It's like how can I like simplify this and dumb it down a little bit, because like and it always interests people. I mean, even if they don't like snakes, it's like they're like, man, like that's really interesting. I wouldn't keep a snake. I'm still scared of them, but like
yeah,
they start asking questions, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's interesting, man. And, let's say you're always learning something new. Always learning something new.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I know a lot of people who do that exact same thing. Like they're not trying to keep any snakes, but they're very intrigued about what you're doing. So like they have like a ton of questions, and it's always fun. Like because
always,
and especially like people who before, like when you first talk to them about the snakes, they're like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. But now they got questions, and so it's like cool. And so it's like just kind of like tinkering away.
A little bit of time.
Yeah. You might not become a keeper, but at least you'll be more tolerant and you understand.
Absolutely,
so,
man.
That's dope. That's super dope, man. All right, bro. So we're pulling up on an hour and a half. So I definitely want to get these wrap up questions
Man, that was
in. And
quick.
so say again.
That was
Oh
quick, bro.
yeah. It just time flies, man. I happen to look over. It's like, oh, we already at an hour and a half. Yeah. So I do got the wrap up questions.
Yeah,
And
let's
so
do it,
the
bro.
first one is, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
That's tough, man. Honestly, like it for me, man. It's probably not about where I live. It's more about like who could I bring with me. Like I
Oh,
like so
nice.
I'm here in Arizona, like, and I love Arizona. You know, I mean now it's not the greatest place to be because it's 111 out, but you know, if I could pack up like all the people that mean the world to me and move them here, that'd be dope.
That's what's up. That's a great answer, bro. You said it's 111. What's
111,
the
yeah. What's that?
dry heat too?
Yeah, it's dry heat, man. It's like standing in front of an oven, you know. So, and it's not getting any better. It's 111, 114, 115. Like it's just the whole next at least week and a half. Like it's crazy.
That's wild. So was it a hard adjustment when you came from Nebraska to Arizona? Like as far as like the weather?
You know, it the summers like your blood thins out pretty quick. So you just kind of get used to it. You don't go outside a whole lot especially during the day, especially if it's 115 out now pass. And for me, I think the first part was just like the winters because it's so nice. Like I remember being like out here and it was like 60 degrees, 50 degrees. And it's like I was back then, I was like, man, that's shorts and hoodie weather, you know? So now my blood's thinned out quite a bit. Now I'm like, let me throw on these joggers and grab a hoodie and a hat and your blood thins out quick, man. But the weather adjustment took like really like 2 summers. And then your blood thins out and it's like, if it's under 75 degrees, you're like, man, it's cold.
Have you been to Florida?
I have, man. Way back in the day, I've been to we went to Orlando.
Okay.
I want to get out there for a show at some.
You got to come to Daytona, bro.
Is no joke. Not to
say again.
That humidity, man.
Oh yeah. That's what I was about to say. Come to Daytona, experience this heat and humidity. Like it's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
it's so crazy. And that's exactly how it is. It had rained for like probably like 2-3 weeks straight here.
Okay.
And now it hadn't really been raining that much, but it's been like hot as hell. Like I got in the car the other day and the temperature read 108. Like it wasn't really 108 outside, but you know how like the thermometer in your vehicle get hotter than what it is outside. But it did feel like about 100. It was probably like in the high 90s though.
Yeah. See, so out here it'd be like the reverse. It's like in the summer you got to your car and it's like it'll read like 115, but it'll be like 113 outside. You know, so that part's wild, man. But you know, the thing that weather-wise, one of the things that got me, so here in the summers we have like monsoons or whatever, and you just got like it rains really hard in like just a certain area. So I remember even back in the day being at like a light and it's pouring on my side of the street where I'm at, just at a red light. Other side of the street, not rain, bone dry. So we get rain and look like little patches. So in the summer, it's like, so I got rain in my house like last night, but it'll just be like isolated areas around the valley. It's crazy, man.
That's wild.
Yeah.
All right. So next question: if you won $10 million tomorrow, how would you use it?
I love this question, man, because I work in the financial industry and we chat about this like all the time, especially when the Powerball gets pretty high. So man, like first thing I wouldn't do is I wouldn't tell nobody. But yeah, I would family foundation, some things there that are pretty like near and dear to my heart from that standpoint. Growing up, I had a brother who was handicapped, so would definitely love to give back to some families that need it. So family foundation on that from that standpoint. Donor advice fund, so I could donate to some things privately and not like so people wouldn't know. I could just donate anonymously. And then from there, it's throwing it in the market and taking advantage of some leverage with these financial institutions. They allow you to kind of like borrow on your securities, your equities. So flip that and buy some real estate with that. So I stayed market on one side, real estate on the other, some apartments, that type of thing, and snowball that income. That's pretty much it. And then of course have a really cool snake room.
Nice. You gotta have that.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right. So if you could have dinner with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
So, first one up, going back to that family foundation thing. My little brother had muscular dystrophy growing up. He passed away at 6. And strange thing is, I saw when I did this, man, like today's his birthday, so he would have turned 36 today.
Respect, bro.
So definitely would love to wish him happy birthday and take him out to dinner, man. And just kind of real quick, man, like on that, like me and my brother, I'm not sure my brother's in the chat, he's probably at work, but if you've watched this back, man, we keep my little brother's memory alive just with our kids, man. Our kids have our middle names for our kids are a combination from my little brother's actual name. So
that's what's up.
We keep him alive, man, and keep talking about him. But that's number 1 on the list right there for me. So number 2, man, I'm a big sports fan. My heroes growing up were always athletes. So it had to be Kobe Bean Bryant, man. I'm a huge Kobe fan.
Nice.
So definitely would love to have a conversation with him. Love to have dinner with him, man. And then lastly, I think this guy is so fascinating, James Baldwin. I just from an author standpoint, the stuff he's going through back in that time frame, and would love to have a conversation with him, man. I think I'd find him so fascinating.
What would you ask him?
James Baldwin, what would I ask him?
Yeah.
Man, I think in this day and age with like the invention of like social media and like rallying around causes, it's a lot easier. You know, we hear stories back then about like, rallying guys that were big in like the civil rights era. Like there's no Twitter, there's no Facebook. Like they ended up being in, it just turns out he's from Harlem and Malcolm X was from Harlem, and they're in the same place at the same time, listening to each other speak, and they have this affinity for one another because they know each other's work. It's like, one, how do you get the work out there? How'd you rally around like people, especially after you moved to France, like that type of thing, like, so that whole dynamic of how they levered resources and leveraged their voices and that, I wonder how that worked. Also him being like a queer guy back in like the 50s and 60s, and what that dynamic was like with other kind of leaders. There's some, he mentioned a while back about how, he thought, MLK didn't really like him so much because of his sexuality type of thing. So just navigating those types of conversations and conversations that we're still having to this day, how he kind of navigated that back then. I think that'd be just a fascinating conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%, bro. 100%. Yeah, those are some good answers, bro.
Yeah, man. When I found out I was gonna be on, I instantly thought about those. Like, let's bang out these 3. I was like, I knew the first couple, man. But I was like, all right, that's yeah, that'd be ideal, man.
Nice. Yeah, good answers. Well thought out. Yeah,
appreciate it,
salute, bro, for sure. All right, bro. So we're at like 9:40 right now. So is there anything you want to tell everybody before we wrap it up tonight?
Nah, man. Just I appreciate everybody that rocks with me, man. That pays attention to my fledgling YouTube channel. That comments on my posts, that type of thing, man. It's really encouraging to have people that are supportive of you and what you're doing, man. So all y'all, man, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. 100%. And we got your links in the description of this video. So anybody listening who's not following, please make sure you go follow Marvin and Elegant Anomaly Reptiles. I feel like I was gonna get tongue-tied when I said it. But make sure you go follow everywhere. Check it out. Dope YouTube videos, dope content. Definitely check that out. Appreciate everybody coming out and supporting us tonight. Appreciate all the folks who's gonna come by later and listen to the replay. Shout out to the audio only gang. We really appreciate all of the support. So with that, we are going to wrap it up. Thank y'all for coming out. Be blessed. Peace.